Before we hop into the next topic, which is a cool one, and I recorded a big chunky video about it yesterday, I want to say thank you to our super chatters, because there's actually been quite a few of you, so thank you. I'll kick it off, though, a super chat that I think was just at the start of our show from Mistelferno. And this is something I actually brought it up to you just before we hit the live button, Matt. So thank you for the super. And you said, did you know Diablo 4 has set it so that you activate the premium battle pass? It doesn't ask for confirmation to purchase it. Right? It doesn't ask you for confirmation. It's one of those, you know, the like dark design pattern things. Even if it's like accidental, and there's another wrinkle to that. It's in I think a pretty viral tweet that I saw actually. Where the link to go and just hit the buy button where there's no confirmation window because your account will already have one charge of a battle pass because of the edition of the game that most people bought. It's on the seasonal journey. So people if you are a little bit button mashy or careless whenever you hit the seasonal journey button, the game will just go boop boop bot. And you're like, all right, I've got the battle pass now. Time to get going on my seasonal character.
That's really interesting, because I was thinking, man, that sounds really familiar. There's something about that sounds like, where have I heard that before? Where have I heard input layer UX issues resulting in people buying things where they didn't intend to, even if it's not with real money? What's the last game Blizzard released, technically? Overwatch 2?
Oh, yes, it is.
Overwatch 2 had the exact same problem, where the menu lag had people buy stuff accidentally.
Oh, that tweet was insane. It was there was menu lag, so people were hitting buttons. The menu wasn't doing anything. And then when it all caught up, the game was just like, yeah, congratulations, you bought these things. We're like, well, did I? I didn't see that shit.
Yeah. Funny. It's exactly that. It's weird. If I had a nickel for every time it happened, I'd have two. Just weird that it happened twice kind of vibe going on here. We're like, cool, that's interesting. I guess, obviously, as Zakaria pointed out, that wasn't costing them money in Diablo 4, although it could theoretically cost them money if they want the next battle pass and we're going to play this one. They could waste their charge, which is money, but not money they've already spent. So it is a little bit weird as opposed to scuff. It's I see Dr. Frankenberg saying at this point it has to be intentional design. I would say you'd be surprised how much stuff slips through the cracks of UX, especially when you're adding things like that.
Yeah.
And you've no confirmation and you've got that. They're like, oh, well, because whoever designed that probably thought, well, you don't need a confirmation window because you're not paying money, so we won't have one. Or maybe the confirmation window is programmed to show up when you're using BattleNet balance or money. So they just went, oh, well, it's not there for that. Because you don't need a confirmation window when you're buying something with in-game gold, as an example. So you're like, it doesn't make sense. But then, just awkward, And then you can easily go, well, problem exists between keyboard and chair. Press your inputs carefully. You're like, yes, correct. But also, you have to be careful of, people making mistakes and bad UX and kind of don't do that stuff. Don't do that stuff, I think. Just always happens. Always happens in that way.
Yeah. And, sometimes that, it's legit just that's just where the thing happens to default to in the UI. You don't even... Sometimes it just happens, basically, because it's a miracle games work. Technology is demonic. Now I sound like a conspiracy person. Trust me, it's okay. I'm not.
That said, but as...
Only when I'm on the crack pipe.
As Rectal Espionage Sailboat said, the future
Rectal Espionage Sailboat?
Yes. As Rectal Espionage Sailboat says.
Oh, of course.
The future of gaming...
Noted philosopher.
Honestly, from what they say in chat, I love it. The future of gaming is confusing people into buying things and not offering refunds. And there is a whole layer of the video game industry hears that and goes, that sounds like a good idea. Can we get away with it? And that's just a realistic thing. You have to go, yeah, Blizzard are kind of pulling away from acting like that a little bit. But I think that's only because they saw what happens when they do and everyone went, we're not going to play your games anymore. And they went, sorry, we'll fix it.
Interesting. Ross Mirage says, for information, all non-reversible and destructive actions require at least 2 tiers of confirmation to follow compliance. Not sure exactly what territory that is in, but that certainly sounds like a good thing.
That sounds like your opinion and stuff.
It certainly does. It seems what I would... it seems widely ignored. based on my experience using things, sometimes accidentally purchasing things.